All right, welcome to our second webinar. I didn't call it a New Year's resolution, but one of the things I want to do in 2015 is do a lot more webinars, a lot more videos, standalone videos, and we have a YouTube channel. It's almost done, and we'll be having that as a reference so people and watch these webinars, and we'll be creating how-tos. The new BigCommerce interface in the back end once you log in is changing soon. Some of our new florists change. I don't like it. Sometimes people try to get more simplistic, which it doesn't help because you get used to something. So I'm sure we'll get used to this too. It's a nice clean look, but I think that there can be some design help on it. But again, I'm probably biased because I get used to a specific layout and have to relearn it. So, all right. Today we have Rahim from RewardCamp. RewardCamp is a company that allows your customers to automatically get credit back onto their accounts so that they can use it later on. The three different, again, words fail me right now during this head cold, so forgive me if I say things like things and I don't describe it as well. But there are three things that go into e-commerce business, and it's real simple. How do you get them to your site? How do you get them to buy? And then how do you get them to come back, which is the exact same template for even your brick and mortar retail. How do you get them to come into your retail? How do you get them to buy? And how do you get them to come back? So about a year ago, I really started making this our mantra and trying to evolve to those three standards, which are really basic, been around for probably thousands of years. So Rahim's company out of New York City is it's all about the third one, about getting the customer to come back, that customer lifetime value. And within the online floral world, it's a little harder than, say, our retail local florists, iron floral customers, just because it's extremely easy to, hit the back key and shop around at 1-800-Flowers, which we don't want them to do. So by giving them these rewards, this credit, this money back on to their account, it keeps them engaged, it keeps them loyal. If you deliver fresh flowers and have good service, obviously that's the second part. But it's kind of epicFlowers' way of trying to make that third tier, how to get them to come back to work a lot better. And we're always going to be evolving and trying to build on those three tiers. So I guess without any, I guess that's it. Let's quit listening to me talk. And I'm going to pass the presenter role over to Rahim. And Rahim, if you could just give us a quick background on who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, what you're going to plan on doing. And I think your presentation is about 15 minutes, and then we'll close it up with questions, answers, and then we'll be on our way for the rest of the day. So, Rahim, I'm going to pass this over to you.
Thanks, Brandon. Just want to do a quick mic check. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
All right, great. Yes. All right, so Brandon, thanks for, first of all, putting together the webinar. I see among some of the participants, I want to give a shout out to Diane, Foster, Terry. You guys are actually already using RewardCamp, so I'm happy to see you guys at the webinar. And also thanks to Kevin, we've been working together on onboarding customers. So I'm very happy to be here today to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about how to increase customer retention. So a little bit about me. I'm the founder of RewardCamp. We are a loyalty app that increases, your repeat business. That's our sole focus. And personally, it makes me very happy when we are able to hit that goal and continually improve on that metric. I have a degree in computer science from Southwestern University in Texas. I've been involved in technology for about 10 years and started RewardCamp in 2013. We launched our app just in June of 2014. We're having success and in increasing customer retention. So, without further ado, let me get into the heart of the presentation, which is about 4 simple tactics you guys can start implementing, starting today, whether you use RewardCamp or not, and in the next 90 days, you should see, or next 60 days, you should see results. So, but before we get into that, I want to spend a few minutes talking about the reality and the challenges of being an e-commerce merchant. The challenge number one, it's time consuming to grow an online business. Especially for you guys, you guys have a lot going on. You're busy shipping, you're doing marketing, you're doing deliveries, accounting, sourcing products, arranging flowers, managing inventory, customer service, etc. After all that, you don't have time left for other business activities, for example, customer retention. Challenge number 2, it costs time and money to attract a new customer. I think, I don't really need to get into that. You guys are probably very familiar with how much time and how much hard money is spent on advertising to get these new customers. Challenge number 3 is online shoppers are very price sensitive. Again, this is an easy one with Google, with the price search engines. It is so easy to find the best deal on any product that a consumer is shopping for. And with reviews and everything else, it's really hard to keep these customers that you have engaged. So challenge number 4 is, in spite of all these hurdles, you do manage to get new customers. But most of them, they buy once and they never come back. Some of these customers never come back because they just plain all forgot about you. And one of the reasons they forget is because of the barrage of new advertisements and offers and people's busy lives. It's easy for customers to get distracted. So the challenge is really staying top of mind with your customers. So really the harsh reality is that if we are trying to build our businesses just on new customers, it is a slow, difficult, and never-ending process. So that's the reality, some of the realities that we all face in today's online business world. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are 2 strategies you can use to build a profitable business that takes less time, is more profitable, and has longer-term viability. So strategy number 1 is you build your business so that it is geared towards repeat customers. What this means is that you have a systematic way to convert each new customer into a repeat customer. If you intentionally focus on building your business towards repeat customers, you also get these other benefits. The business weathers economics ups and downs just because loyal customers are loyal. It doesn't matter whether it's a recession or not, they will keep coming back. Number 2, it's just more fun to do business because you're more focused on those repeat customers. And number 3 is that, because of the repeat business, your business becomes more profitable. So now strategy number 2 is implementing automation and systems. That sounds like technology, sounds like complexity, difficult, boring stuff, but it does not have to be that way. All it means is that you have a standard process. It can be manual, it can be simple. A good example is maybe you have a simple habit of sending birthday cards to your 100 best customers on the last Monday of every month. If you follow these 2 strategies of 1, focusing your business on repeat customers, and number 2, implementing automation, then it's possible to really grow a profitable business pretty quickly that takes less of your time. So let's talk a little bit about statistics. Social analytics firms, they conducted research and found that 25 to 40% of total revenues of most stable businesses come from returning customers. According to marketing metrics, probability of selling to an existing customer is 60 to 70%, while the probability of selling to a new prospect is only 5 to 20%. There's also statistics from McKinsey that's showing e-commerce spending for new customers is on average just $24, but for repeat customers, those guys, they spend $52, so double.
Hey, Raheem, can I interrupt for just a second?
Yes.
I just wanted to also point out, I've noticed over the, just looking at numbers, I'm obsessed with conversion rate optimization and looking at numbers. One thing that I've found is florists who've been online, like let's say since the 90s versus 9 months ago, their conversion rates are, I don't know the exact number, but I bet you can add probably 5 to 6% conversion rate onto any base conversion just based on being online for that long. I just noticed that if you're online longer, then you've got more loyal customers that keep coming back, which means, like you said in that second stat there, they're more likely to convert. So sometimes it's a red herring for me or Kevin to look at statistics and say, wow, look how high they're converting. What's their website look like? See, that's a red herring, because if that site, like for example, Diane's, that's been around since the mid-90s, she's converting it really high. Like I don't even know. I probably can't say because she won't get mad at me. She's 12%, 9%, 13%, just on a regular basis. I would say 5 to 6% of that, 13% is all because she's been there for a long time. So I just wanted to say that. And then the second thing is that third statistic, we talked about average orders. I did I went to our I think top 10 or 12 biggest florists, exported all the numbers and found out an average order for all these orders, which was close to 50,000 orders. And the average online order, and this is including the delivery charge, it was $77.11. So a little higher than that average you had said, but so it's even more important. But anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to throw in those couple stats real quick.
No, I'm glad you did. And what you mentioned about staying online longer, that makes sense. I've seen some websites that are, they're not great to browse. They don't look great. They actually look really not so great. But they just have been around from the 90s. And because of that, it's a business that just keeps on pumping cash because they've just been around. And I do know that Google ranks a domain higher if it's been around longer. That's one of the things they do look in their calculations of, or in their rankings. But
and also just also to point out real quick, it's also the same parallel as the retail stores. So if it's hard for a florist to understand that, just look at your own retail store. If you've been there longer, you have more loyal customers, and more people that walk through that front door can convert more than if you've been there for 20 years versus 2 years. So it's the exact same parallel.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. But there's just lots of research and statistics that have shown that repeat business, that's what a repeat customer is what you want to build your business on. Obviously, that's what we all want. It's pretty easy, but if only it was simple and easy like that. So that's why I'm gonna the next slide we're gonna jump into the tactics. So how do you get more repeat customers? So the first tactic is, it works extremely well in social media. And what you do is you ask your customers to tag pictures of them using your product or receiving your product in the mail. And for every customer who does this, you can offer them a special discount, 10% or 5%, whatever. Or you can take it a step further by making it into a weekly competition where the best, funniest picture will receive a bigger prize. Each of your customers who responds to this type of campaign will definitely become a repeat customers. Why? Because they're just engaged. I do know there's an online merchant out of St. Louis. She does this. She sells baby diapers made out of fabric instead of plastic or the stuff that's used mostly. And she just has her customers send these pictures. So what happened was, at first the uptake was very low, like maybe 1 or 2 people would send in these pictures, but then over time it increased, and she's doing a lot of business from Facebook. It looks like it's coming from Facebook, but it really is those customers. They're just engaged and they're just coming back and they're forming an emotional connection. So this is something that's easy to do. You can start doing it. It may be a little challenging to get started, but you can definitely, if you stick with it for 3 months, you'll definitely see results.
I just want to also just say real quick, Diane from Richardson's Flowers, who's with us today, she's done really well with her Facebook competitions. So I'd like to maybe get her on here one time as a webinar guest, or if any of the florists want to call her. Her delivery pool goes out about noon, so call her about 11:30. That's the I'm just joking. You could probably give her a call. She's really nice. We'll talk probably, but after her delivery had gone out. So anyway, sorry to interrupt again. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. All right, so let's jump into the second tactic. One of the problems with e-commerce is that it can be so impersonal, which makes it easy for customers to jump ship to a competitor. They don't feel an emotional connection. And so a simple way to build that emotional connection is to humanize your business. The second tactic is really about humanizing your business and building that connection. And the way to do that is to post pictures of you running your business on social media. I know how that sounds, because when I read it, it just sounded silly to me, but then I saw an example. So, here's a picture of these, those 2 guys in bow ties. They have an online store on BigCommerce, and they sell bow ties. That's all they sell. And they posted this picture. That's staff from the local post office where they ship out all their products. And they just posted it. I'm not in the market for bow ties, but as soon as I saw that picture, I was like, if ever I need to buy a bow tie, I want to buy it from these guys. I don't know why, but I just felt a connection. So imagine taking pictures of yourself arranging the flowers, of you guys making deliveries, and posting those up on Twitter or your Facebook page. It really does a great job of humanizing your business. It's easy to do. And over time, if you do it, like if you have 12 pictures and you post 1 picture a month, you have, within a year, you have a very powerful human connection with your customers. So that's tactic number 2. I noticed briefly a comment that Diane just made, but I couldn't really read it. I'm just going to take a second to see what that comment was.
Diane likes to interrupt. She's a bad interrupter.
Oh, Diane just said, you're right about this. Well, you guys all saw it. We're just getting ready to start posting pics of our staff at the shop. Yeah, this is a very powerful way to, build a brand, but mostly it's just it's just like a way to humanize the business. Because I'll tell you another story. I ordered something online from a small merchant like a year ago, and I wanted to go back and order them, but I can't remember the name or nothing, and so I had to go to my email and just search, and finally I found it. But something like this would kind of create that connection. Yeah, it's good to have interactive webinars. So by all means, if anyone else would like to make comments, feel free. Diane, you provide a great example. So yes. So let's go to tactic number 3. So this tactic is about staying top of mind with your customers. And this is, again, an easy tactic, but it costs a bit of money. You can send the magnets to your best 100 customers. And since the magnets are on their free, you always stay top of mind with them. So a good place to order magnets is magnetstreet.com. I haven't tried them personally, but they do have good reviews on Yelp. And those reviews are from brides, so a lot of brides apparently print out those save the date or order save the date magnets from them. So if brides are liking their service, I'm sure they do a really good job. So check out magnetstreet.com, order 100 magnets, send them to your customers, and let me know if you do that, because it would be very fascinating for me to track how these guys behave. So I find that kind of data really fascinating. So that's tactic number 3. I think I'm going to start doing that, next year or in the next few months. Try to just for my own experimentation. So let's jump to tactic number 4. Have exclusive promotions for best customers. Everyone loves a good deal and everyone loves to feel special. And if you say something like this to your customers, maybe in the email or a card you send to them, "Hi, John, you are one of our top 10 customers, and we're happy to offer the special offer to you." What will this do? It'll trigger them to make a purchase just so that they maintain their status as a top 10 customer. So, these are, it's simple, and some of them may be so simple that it kind of sounds silly, but the key is consistency. If you apply these, and the key is simplicity, these are things that are easy to do. You don't need to buy new technology. You don't need to buy. The only thing that really you need of the 4 tactics is the one with the magnet. So these are things you can start doing today to increase customer retention. But one big challenge still remains, and that problem is that no matter how good a customer is, they're always looking for the best deal. They're still always price shopping. And so that is why we built the loyalty platform called RewardCamp, to directly counter the problem of price shopping, of always looking for the best deal. And as Brandon mentioned earlier, the way we do this is by offering your customers store credit every time they place an order. It's pretty simple. And guess what happens when a customer knows they have store credit with you? They will stop price shopping and come back to buy from you. It's kind of like, I'll just share a quick, simple story. I got a gift card from Best Buy. I needed to buy some headphones a few months ago. I didn't really shop around. I just went to Best Buy and just bought it. The gift card was only $5, but I still went and bought it from Best Buy because I was like, well, what's the point of price shopping? And whatever it is, I'll get $5 less. So it's kind of the same principle.
Hey, Raheem, I have a question for you. So I know that your service, it automatically sends out emails once a month if you want, and that's how we set it up at epicFlowers for us to have that service. I wonder if is there any way to have, I know that I think BigCommerce's API will give you the information on specific customers, but there's in BigCommerce you can go into your analytics and you can search for your top 10 customers, top 20 customers. Is there any way that maybe in the future, maybe as a feature for RewardCamp, and I hate to put you on the spot, but it'd be kind of cool if it automatically went and found those top 10 customers, and when the email went out in that month, it said, you built up, $7.53 credit, and by the way, you are one of our top, in our top 10 customers. We want to offer you this, extra $5 coupon or credit or something. I don't know, something that kind of lets them know, rewards them. That way, it's just one less thing that the customer, aka the florist, has to go in, look it up, and create an email. It just would be nice somehow if that's automated for them. Does that sound like something?
So the answer is yes, no, no.
Okay.
But, so the yes is that yes, we do provide a way where you can look up your best customers. And yes, we do provide a way to like find out which of your best customers are leaving. But right now the answer is no as far as automating that part. I really like the suggestion, so it sounds like it would be simple to do. I'll talk to our developers, see if we can incorporate that piece of feedback you mentioned about saying in the email, oh, John, here's $5 store credit. By the way, you're also our top 10 customer. And maybe even just saying thank you for being a top 10, you know.
Right. Maybe that can be sent out every 6 emails, meaning every 6 months. So I don't know. It's just something to look into. And I just want to also say to our listeners that Raheem's been, I think I've known him for about a year now. And he's been real receptive working with me and Phil from Marvell's Flowers out of Houston, and really kind of molding a lot of the neat features that RewardCamp has to florists and to what our needs are, because our e-commerce is so much different than everybody else out there. So I really appreciate Raheem for doing that and making a lot of those changes if he can. So appreciate that.
Thanks for that feedback, Brandon. So yes, I'm definitely going to talk to our developers, and we'll put this as one of the ideas for future development, for future features. So I'll talk a little bit more about RewardCamp. How does it work? It's pretty simple. It's a 3-step process. Step 1 is you set it up as your loyalty application. It takes 15 minutes to do that. It takes 0 minutes if you work with Brandon and epicFlowers. If you're a customer, then you don't even have to spend the 15 minutes. Step 2 is every time all of your customers are automatically enrolled. So your customers don't have to register for a loyalty program, things like that. And step 3 is every time they place an order, they get store credit. They're notified via email of that store credit, and that's it. And what happens is over time, you will notice more and more of these customers, they're coming back, and they will order again and again. And it's because of that one principle. They stop price shopping. They just know, okay, you know what? I know Diane I have store credit with Diane, so I'm just going to order again from her, right? And so that's the way it works. Let's go into the next slide. It's fast and easy to set up. For you guys, we can really kind of move quickly through this slide because, again, like I mentioned, if you are an epicFlowers customer, then we do this part for you. Diane just shared some feedback that she has already had a customer use the store credit. So, the reason this loyalty stuff, loyalty is not a new problem. It's been solved like 30 years ago. So we're just really bringing the stuff that's been done into the online world. Okay, so the next slide, this is one of my favorite slides in this deck right now. And what this shows you, hey, Brandon, I think we hear some background noise. So I don't know if...
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. All right, cool. So what are you looking at? So one of the things you get with RewardCamp is this repeat customer health check. This is one of the things you get in the dashboard. And what this does is it takes your customers and it puts them in different boxes. So let me just explain what you're looking at. So on the left side of the chart, it shows customers based on how many orders they place. So customers who place 1 order are at the very bottom left. Customers who have placed more than 10 orders are all the way up. And then the horizontal part of the chart shows when a customer placed the last order. So way on the right is up to 30 means the order was placed. Those are the customers that place an order in the last 30 days. Way on the left, in 365 plus column, that's customers who have placed an order more than a year ago. So you see that red box with the number 2 in it. That means there are 2 customers who placed an order more than a year ago, and each of those 2 guys have placed more than 10 orders. So that's what that means. And so, obviously it means these 2 people were great customers. It also means that they stopped ordering for some reason, and it would be good for us to know who they are. And if you click on number 2, what will happen is RewardCamp will show you those 2 customers. So in the next slide, this chart belongs to one of our merchants. And so those 2 guys are Oscar and Evan. Oscar placed 10 orders, and Evan has placed 19 orders. And we can see that both of them placed their last order sometime in 2013. These 2 people would be good to just pick up the phone and call them or send them an email, just to ask them, hey, why have you stopped doing business? And that way we could learn something useful and possibly get them to come back. So this is one of the useful information you get via RewardCamp. The next slide, we have a thing called Customer Defection Report. And again, this is a report that's from one of our merchants. He has 1 customer that is defecting. So what does that mean, defecting? That means this customer shopped quite a bit, but hasn't in recent times. And recent can be different for different merchants. So the merchant has the ability to configure what recent means. For him, he has set it to be 6 months. So he has a customer named Gono. This person has ordered almost $1,000 worth of stuff, but hasn't since May. Again, another potential customer to reach out to, maybe send a special note saying, hey, we miss you, Gono. Here's a $5 coupon or something, and Gono will likely come back, right? So this is another report that RewardCamp provides. So does RewardCamp work? This is a chart. Essentially, the blue is a percentage of customers who are coming back, and the orange is the total number of repeat customers. I love Diane's comment. Diane just said his girlfriend dumped him. Could be. So he needs to order some flowers, get his old girlfriend to come back, or get some new girlfriend. But the chart is essentially trending upwards to the right, which basically means, for this is again a real customer. For this customer, he started out with like 300 repeat customers in early September, and it increased to 360 by December. So that's 60 more repeat customers. And again, the percentage went up. And here's another chart from another customer. So our goal is to increase not only just repeat orders, but also make sure that percentage of those customers who order again, that percentage is also increasing, so that we follow those 2 metrics. And at RewardCamp, we don't feel like it should just go up. We feel like we should do everything we can to keep it constantly going up. So here's some testimonials. We're lucky to have customers who like the product. The first testimonial is from Robert. He's a former cop here in New York. He sells vitamins online. The testimonial at the bottom is from Chip. He is in New Jersey. He sells gifts related to like meditation. So those are. And you'll see some of your own logos. These are people who are using RewardCamp right now. And I'm happy and to have you guys, to be working with Brandon to bring you guys and improve customer retention for you and on your behalf. And so, a final tip, Harvard, they did a study about the #1 secret of top entrepreneurs and high earning salespeople. And what they found is this one habit that's in common. Notice I said habit and it's not a trick or trait or strategy. They did one thing better, and this habit is speed of implementation. And many of you are probably familiar with this. These people, they implement something before their mind can talk them out of it. And that's important. Yeah, and I know that happens to me a lot. We all want to be making smart decisions, and then in the trying to make smart decisions, we fall into the trap of analysis paralysis or procrastination, and then the action never gets taken. But if we can just skip that part and take an action, see what happens, see the results, and then decide whether to continue or not, rather than just dismiss something altogether, that's what I guess can really set us apart in taking us from wherever we are to being like the top in our field, top salespeople or top entrepreneurs. So that study really impacted me, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. And with that, I am done and happy to take questions. And I'm also going to present, pass control back to Brandon. If you guys have any questions, you can definitely ask here.
Go ahead and leave the presenter so you can answer them with your voice. If anybody has any questions, you can type it in the chat box and we can see it. In the future, if you download the Join Me app, which is it's free, and you dial in, we can also let you talk if you'd like to also. So I think some people have some questions.
Yeah, I just saw a question from Diane, asked if you guys get those reports email. Diane, unfortunately right now you don't get those things email. You have to log into RewardCamp to check it out. I would love, I think emailing them makes sense. It's something we're working on, but it's not ready yet.
The monthly report that we were talking about, I'm sorry, Raheem, I didn't mean to interrupt, go ahead.
Yeah, I believe the monthly report Diane was referring to is the one of like defecting customers and best customers, things like that, right, Diane? I believe that's what you referred to.
And also, the customers who, just regular customers, get an email automated every month saying you've earned this much credit, correct?
Yeah, that's the monthly email that regular customers get. Not all of your customers. We don't want to feel like they're receiving spam, so we only send the monthly report to customers who have store credit that they haven't used or they have points. And so we just tell them, hey, Mary, you have this many points, you have this much store credit, just to stay top of mind. Diane, I'm happy to, like, if you haven't logged into RewardCamp, or if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to walk you through, and that's for all of you. If you want some kind of to get more familiar with the system, I'm happy to walk you through over the phone. But yeah, definitely log in. It's pretty simple. You should be able to see the info.
Any more questions, guys, before we end this webinar? So again, I'd like to say thank you to Raheem for doing a lot of work for especially the floral industry with me and Kevin and with a lot of our florists. And in the future, if any of you guys think of a webinar or something that you want Epic Flowers to do, let us know and we'll try to make that happen. I've been wanting to get Diane's Facebook competition has been really great, and the thing about social media is I've been doing that from the beginning, but the thing about social media, the number one thing you should ask, the very first question you should ask is, what's my return on investment, period. A lot of florists use social media just as a social tool outlet for themselves, thinking that that's going to help their business. But return on investment is the number one thing you should first ask if you're serious about social media marketing. But anyway, I don't want to get into that right now. I could talk forever, I'm sorry. So more webinars this year, more how-tos. Kevin's going to be making some back-end admin how-tos with the new panels, the new layouts, and we'll just keep them coming. Raheem, anything else you want to say before I end this?
No, I think I covered everything. I just want to say it was great to be part of the webinars, and thank you, Brandon. And it was great to interact with and see some of the current customers using RewardCamp.
All right. Well, thank you, Raheem, and you guys have a flowerful day. Bye.
Bye.